Here's a real nice one on this rock. Here's where we were today, over by Fallon Naval Air Station, just east of town. And you can see where it is in relation to Reno and Lake Tahoe. You can see where we were just east of town off of Highway US 50, which goes across the state to Utah. And there's Grimes Point Archaeological Site right there. And that's where we had our picnic. We ended up looking at the petroglyphs here, and then we hiked around, made a loop about like that, and came over here to the hidden cave right there, and then we walked down the road back. So we made a loop. There's beautiful Walker Lake this morning. We've had some recent snow, and Mount Grant has got a dusting. Most of it's hidden behind this big cloud though, this morning, the top. Hello everybody. It's one of my favorite times of the year and one of my favorite holidays, Turkey Day, Thanksgiving Day. And I bought a turkey for Kelly, and Kelly invited me over to her house and gonna have her family over there. So you know the turkey dinner for me is gonna be really good because Kelly's a super good cook, and that's gonna be a fun time. And I like her family, they're very nice people. So I'm gonna have a good time, and I hope everybody else has a nice visit with your family and make some nice memories. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Preparing for winter. Starting to get cold. Got my wood stove running.
Gosh, it feels good in here this morning. It's nice and warm.
Finally got a wood fire going.
Yeah.
See if it's still lit. Very well. Oh yeah.
Look, there's ice this morning.
How thick is it? Let me see if I can get it out. Oh, pretty good piece.
Douglas is, he's got this painter's tape on his windows, and he's just doing that so the hummingbirds know not to come in. He's got a couple of pet hummingbirds that hang around here, and he's getting ready to bubble wrap this window.
Yeah, the hummingbirds are gone, so it's getting ready to be winter time, starting to get cold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap these windows. Well, not wrap them, I'm going to cut this. That one's the right size.
Okay, what Doug is doing is he's spraying the window with just a little bit of water, and then he applies this plastic bubble wrap, and he doesn't even put any tape on it, and it dries out and it clings all winter. I think that part's kind of cool.
Yeah, and you want to take it off in the summertime when it warms up again, and it's great because it also you don't have to put a shade on there. You can let the sun come in, and it gives you privacy, kind of like a bathroom window or something like that. But you want to make sure you take it off in the summertime, or else it will make a little bubble marks on there, and you don't want that. So just take it off before it gets hot.
Here he is cutting it to fit.
So you used to have this bubble wrap that's free. I've got some of the bubble wrap in the house I've had for 4 years now, and I got it for free. But nowadays they don't use this for packing material as they used to, so you have to buy it. I'm not sure what the price is if you buy it. There you go.
They're all done.
You can also use the bubble wrap with the bigger bubbles, and you can use different colors. I've got another window in the house where it's got different panels, and I made a design with different colors. You can do that too. And I think the bubble wrap with the bigger bubbles might have a better R value, but I like the ones with the small bubbles because it gives you privacy.
Well, you can't really see in it. See, he's waving and you barely see anything.
Well, I've got a little bit of snow on Mount Grant this morning. We're making the left off the highway to Grimes Point archaeological area. You can see how close it is to the highway. I mean, if you're coming through and you've got a couple minutes, you could even take a little rest break right here. They've got restrooms. They got a place for picnics, and you could stretch your legs and go check it out. It's just right off the highway.
Right outside of the parking lot here, you come to a sign, and if you go this way, it will take you to the Petroglyph Trail. And if you go over here behind me, it'll take you to the overlook.
Here is an ancient example of a pit and groove petroglyph. See the little pits and grooves in it? Really interesting. These petroglyphs are a little bit harder to see, but you can see the one there, and then the one right there. Of course, I'm not touching them, I'm just looking.
Oh, there's one right there.
All these are well marked.
That one's got a good patina on it.
It does have a good patina on it. Look at all the big boulders in here, Kelly.
Yeah, they're interesting, just the rocks alone.
No wonder the ancient peoples in this area decided to come up here and leave their mark. That car is going about where we're going to be headed later to go check out the cave. It's a little bit farther up the road. Now, if you look closely on the hillsides, you'll notice it's like, you can see almost like stripes. Kind of like, you know, there was a bathtub ring there. Well, that shows you where the ancient lake shore was many, many years ago when this was part of Big Lake. I'm thinking it was part of Lake, ancient Lake Lahontan. What do you think?
It probably was.
Yeah,
'Cause this is,
it's all connected.
yeah. Look at these right here that I found. Those were not pointed out, but I can clearly see them.
And there's one behind it too, 2 of them on that rock right there. You can really see the damage and vandalism. This is mostly just from shooting bottles. I'll show you all the glass. See it all? I never do that when I'm out in the desert doing some target practicing. I always make it a habit of making it cleaner where I've been shooting. So I pick up trash. I usually have a trash bag full of trash when I leave. I never make it worse. Now that's not a petroglyph. That's a little more modern site right next to this glass. It's hard to say. This could be from warriors from the past. And in the foreground, there's warriors in our modern present day, just in the distance. Here's another ancient petroglyph. There's another one on this rock. They're somewhat faint, but you can see there's something there. And then there's a one here that shows up on this bigger stone. It's definitely got something that was carved on it. Hard to make out exactly what it was. I see something right about, it goes there and it comes down like that. Let me back off so you can see it a little bit better. And then right here, looks like this has been tooled, but it's very weathered. It's probably very, very old. To me, that one almost looks like a stick figure, but it looks like part of it's missing because a piece of the rock broke off on it.
Well, look, you can see this one's a pretty good one right here.
Definitely. Kelly, I think the angle of the morning sun is really helping to see that one because it's got some depth to it. It's still hard to see what it was. It looks very, very old. It's the size of this big stone just fell off, and there's another piece that Kelly noticed that just fell off. Ravages of time. There's one there. Looks like kind of like stripes. Kelly, I'm on the lookout in this area for something interesting that you can find throughout Nevada, and that's called a drift fence. Because people were wondering years ago when some of the first people came across the country from other parts of the world, they were wondering, what are all these stone fences all around Nevada? And they finally figured out what they were, these drift fences. The native peoples here throughout Nevada would build these long stone fences by hand, and what they were used for was to funnel prey, game animals, such as mule deer, rabbits, pronghorn antelope, etc. And so they would chase the animals down these different lanes across the countryside, and these stone fences, these drift fences, would force them into different areas where they were more easily hunted. And there's supposed to be one in this area that runs east-west. We'll keep our eyes open for it, and if we see it, we'll get a good shot of it. It's a little bit rocky through here, but it's a nice trail. Like I said, you can see the highway. It's very close to the highway, which is not a bad thing because it's accessible for everybody. So if you were taking a trip on America's loneliest highway, US 50, some might argue it's Highway 6, but US 50 is right there in the distance. Here's the Overlook Trail. It's a mile each way, so 2 miles round trip. We just saw a little while ago a young mother carrying a little baby infant with her, so you can imagine this is not a very tough little hike in here, but it does have some rocks. The trail is marked by these rocks on either side of it. Well, at least we'll get a 2 mile walk in today.
Yeah, I need the movement anyways.
Yeah, we need the exercise. And we like to promote exercise and people getting out in some fresh air. And we sure enjoy all our travels and learning more about our state and, of course, Eastern California, too. It's just amazing. There's so much to see out here.
Mm-hmm.
There's Fallon Naval Air Station in the distance. And here's the boulder field right here where the petroglyphs are. That rock recently had some icy type snow frost on it this morning, and it just burnt off. That's why it's wet like that. It's starting to get cold around here. There's another trail right there, Kelly. You want to go up that a ways and just see what we can find?
Sure.
Those bathtub rings, if you will, really can show where the water was in the past. It kind of reminds me of the lines around the hills in Missoula, Montana, for the lake that used to be there in the past. There's a lot of these ancient lake beds in the west that you can still see where they were. We're going a little bit farther down this trail. Now, this is not the regular trail to the viewing platform. This is another one. Just curious to see what's over here. See quite a few footprints on it, so it's not like we're the only people that have gone on this one. We're gonna see if we can walk the back way along this ridge instead of driving over there. Look at that odd rock, Kelly.
Yeah, there's lots of it up here.
It kind of looks like tufa, like something that come from the bottom of a lake, ancient lake. Here's a piece of it on that rock right there, see?
Yeah.
There's another.
Lots of it up here.
Another chunk of it.
Yeah, that's an interesting piece.
Yeah. This is underwater at some point. There's a good example of some others that look similar to that. There's the Carson Sink, I believe, in the distance. And it's hard to see, but there's a mountain with snow on it in the distance, and that's Mount Grant. So Walker Lake and Hawthorne are in that area. That's the overlook hill that we were on right there. This hill's a little bit higher up. Yep, that's Mount Grant in the distance. There's the Carson Sink. Look at that road out there. Huh. There's NAS Fallon in the background.
Doug, look at this one.
Interesting. Look at this U.S. Coast and Geodetic Survey azimuth marker.
Yeah, it says Grimes, 1935.
Right there, Grimes. That tells us where we're at in the map. This looks interesting where the trail goes. I think it leads right over to the cave. We saw another person walking along here. There's a lady walking by herself. We've seen tracks of domesticated dogs and so forth. It tells me that people come up here to go for a hike and walk their dog. How fun. Just outside of Fallon. You could be stationed at the base and want to get out and get a little hike in, just right outside of town. Surprisingly, I see a bench in the distance, and I also see another parking lot, and it looks like there's restrooms over this way also. I see a bench right there, and then that looks like a roof.
Yeah, it does. Something's there.
Something's there. I'm kind of curious of this side of the mountain. This is. Oh, this little part of the trail just hugs this really tight. Wonder if we'll find anything interesting up here. Oh, yeah, this is super interesting. Look at this. Whoa. We just stumbled on this. Wow. Wow.
Oh, this is cool.
Look at that. See, this looks like something that was underwater, you know? Yeah. Like something you'd see in a cave or something.
Yeah, it's almost a cave form.
Yeah. Really amazing formation. You can see how big it is. Kelly, you look pretty small compared to this. Interesting.
What a fun cave.
Yeah. And look at the stone is like a dark like a brick red. And it's got this surface stone on it. There's a piece that fell off. There's a piece that fell. It looks just like it's like tufa looking. See? Must be like, maybe it's where the minerals were dripping from water. Hard to say. It sure looks like the inside of a cave that got exposed or something through erosion. Interesting, super interesting. Yeah, this is just amazing seeing all the formations and how far it goes back in there. I'm curious to know if this kind of was a cave at one point and it maybe fell in. I almost said caved in.
Look at this weird formation right here, too.
Oh yeah, look at that one. And it's like this piece here, it looks like that piece could just fall off at any time. And then these other ones are like chunky, like honeycomb or something. It's really very intriguing. I'll bet these are so ancient, Kelly.
Yeah, they probably are.
These are so ancient. Glad we came up here to show everybody. That's amazing. So the hidden cave, I believe, is over there because I do see some type of a building and I see a pickup truck parked over there. I'm glad we checked this one out though.
Yeah.
Kelly, look at these rocks here. They look like they fell off from the side of the cliff.
Yeah, they do.
I think that piece right there must have fallen off. That one too, see?
Yeah.
Because they only match up right up in there where they're at. So these, like that, look, there's a big chunk there too that fell.
Yeah.
Look at that on the whole side there.
It's the weirdest looking stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd dare say this might be, it might be volcanic, but it might be something that would be formed underwater.
That's
It sure
kind of
looks
what
like
I
it.
think,
That's what I
too.
think. Kelly said that she's glad that we went up this way because we found that little cave on our way to the official hidden cave. Believe it or not, they have a nice bench that we can sit here and look at the view. Oh, I see this now. See, there's a trail that comes all the way up here from the parking lot. Yeah. And they've got this numbered and shows you where we're at. Here's the view from the bench. And there's that steel roof of some type I keep seeing. Kelly, we could just retire and come up here and sit on the bench and watch time go by. It's kind of nice to have all these benches around so visitors can enjoy their little hike up in here. There's another one of those chunks of rock that really looks like something you'd find by Mono Lake or something like that, or Walker Lake. See that? Shaped like that with all the curves on it. So the cave entrance is locked up unless you're on an official tour, but we'll get up to the entrance of it. Yeah. Pretty little songbird. There he goes. That's where we came down this side, and that's that half cave that we found. And you can see the parking down there, and I believe this is the cave entrance, which I expect to be completely locked up. You have to get a special tour to come in here. Let's see what the sign says. Yeah, there it is. You can get right to it though. Hello. Hello, special delivery. I don't think anybody's home, Kelly.
Nope, they're not. I went on a tour in this cave. Gosh, it's been years and years ago. But you can, book a tour with a special tour guide and go in there, and they'll walk you around in there. And there is a platform, and they've got some things set up to kind of give you an example of what it might have been like in the day that it was used.
What did you see in there? What did you remember seeing?
I remember baskets, and they had some, like food storage areas, and it was a platform you walked around on so you didn't touch it.
Is it a large cave?
Yeah, it was pretty good size. It was similar to the one that is in Lovelock Caves. Very similar.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that primitive people used to live in the cave?
They didn't live in it from the way I understood it. They store their food and did special ceremonies in there.
Interesting.
Yeah. That was the best part, is when we found that cave over there. It was a nice surprise. There was all these weird looking, they look like dinosaur eggs or something.
We're going to continue down the path and make a loop. We're just going to catch the gravel road back to the parking lot. Here's some more lichen. And look, there's a real fluffy looking patch of moss right there. And you only see this kind of stuff where the air's clean, because it doesn't take much pollution to kill that. So it's telling us the air's clean. It might be dusty out here sometimes, but it's clean. I think that's a raven sitting on a rock on the bottom, about right there. And then there's the hidden cave right over there. There's another cave that we went by. It's called Burnt Cave. We're just going to walk the 2 miles or so back upon the road just to make a loop, get our exercise in. So we have to walk down the road. That hill right there was that viewing point above where the petroglyphs were, which is on the right. So we're walking straight down like that. We're used to walking a long way in the desert.
Oh, we like it.
Yeah. After our walk down the dirt road, we decided to have our lunch at the picnic spot. What do we have today for lunch, Kelly?
Well, we're having some roast beef wraps and some vegetables and some fruit and nuts to go with it. And we've got some cookies. They're chocolate.
Okay. We got lots of raspberries too.
Yeah, we do.
Healthy. Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome.
Little desert chipmunk came by, took off with an almond. You hardly ever see those. They're so fast. This little desert chipmunk.
Here, let me give him a little bit.
Oh, I think Kelly's got something for him. Come here, buddy. She's got something for you. You don't normally see these too close. They are so fast. See how light colored they are? Okay, he's got a treat right there. There he is. Oh, right there. Right there.
You gotta smell it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him. He likes it.
You hardly ever get close to these. They are so fast.
He didn't like the raspberry.
Yeah,
He liked the
they're so
cookies.
fast. Seems to like it. He likes the nuts. He likes the almonds.
Well, he liked the almonds and the cookie, but not the
Not the
berries.
raspberry.
Yeah, he's like, nah, I'm not in the mood for raspberries. You got cookies? I prefer that.
Everybody prefers cookies, even the chipmunks.
Douglas doesn't want to leave. We got two little chipmunks that are friends of ours now.
Yeah, they're pretty cute. Well, I like that the Grimes Point archaeological site and the hidden cave was too bad it was closed. But I really like finding that cave that we found on
That was
our
the
own.
best part.
It's not even on the map. There's another
No.
one that's on the map. That one wasn't even on the map, but that was
Yeah.
fun because we're not the only person that ever found that, but we felt like we discovered it.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
It was
and
fun.
It was a nice, pleasant day and nice temperatures, and I think we had a good time.
Yeah, we did.
We'll catch you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Well, as you know, everybody, Kelly and I are gardeners, and we love putting around our gardens. And I noticed in the comments a lot of people like to see the footage of the gardens and like us to list the wildflowers with the Latin names and everything. It's really fun. But anyway, I got a quick little story for them. Not much of a storyteller, but I was out getting some lumber, and they had some of these bulbs for sale. And I got Kelly a little amaryllis bulb because she has a big collection of them. Her mom used to have a big, huge collection of those. And Kelly also has a big collection. So anyway, I bought her one of those. And the funny thing was, as a gift, and the funny thing was, she bought me one too at the same time. I didn't know about it. But hers is a lot bigger. Check this out right here. And that's the amaryllis that she got me. Look how big this bulb is. It's like an onion. Kelly, look at my greenhouse by the south window.
Look at how many plants he has.
I know, it's like an obsession. I enjoy it though. I've got 4 lemons on my little Meyer lemon tree. They're just starting to color up. How fun, right? Mm-hmm. And then this one is going crazy. This Hoya vine is just going all over the place. This is a site you don't see too often this far north. It's over 10 feet tall. It's pushing about 12 feet tall. It's a pomegranate tree. That's what the leaves look like in the fall. There's like that. Here's one of the smaller fruits that fell off. You can see it's a pomegranate. And the ones up there are the same size as you'd find in the store. They hadn't been picked, so they're just rotting on the tree. You can see the fruit inside of it. But that's a pomegranate tree. It's growing in an alley in Hawthorne, Nevada. And you can see that we live in a cold climate. Let me zoom in on the mountain, and you can see in the distance the mountain there. But we're basically the same climate as in Damascus, Syria. And over there they have the Anti-Atlas mountains, and here we have the Wasatch range of mountains. But there's a pomegranate tree. I picked this pomegranate start up at Home Depot. It was a bare root thing. It was about half dead, as big as a pencil, not even. And you can see already in a year how big it's grown. Like I was saying, it's interesting. And you can see we have a cold winter here. It's not super cold. It's USDA zone 7B, which normally doesn't get any lower than 5 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not sub-zero, but it's a cold winter area. And what's surprising is that the mountain range that consists of the High Peak Mountain Grant there is very similar to the same aspect of the Anti-Atlas Mountains that separate Lebanon from Syria. And Hawthorne, Nevada has almost the same identical climate as Damascus, the city of Damascus, Syria. So we can grow 5 of the 7 species that grow in the Holy Land. And the 7 species that we can grow are wheat, barley, grapes, figs, and pomegranates. It's too cold for olives, they'll freeze out, and it's too cold for the date palms. Those will also freeze out. But we can also grow the apricot here.